kids played today. You know, I don't think we played the best game offensively that we could play. There was several plays defensively that were made for us, a couple of turnovers and stops on fourth downs that we didn't capitalize on drives and those turnovers. But I think when it came crunch time, I think our offensive line and Cedric O'Neal and Austin Scott, I think those guys put the load on their back and played well. But I have to commend our defense and our defensive staff for the game plan they put together to hold that football team, who averages 42 points a game, to 7. It's just a tremendous feat. I thought our defensive line played very well. Chris Pope just made tackle after tackle, solo tackles. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I think that ended up being the difference in the game. And then, of course, you can't say enough. Sometimes people take special teams lightly. We at Valdosta State, we don't. And it ended up being a huge difference. Great momentum kicker to start off the game with kickoff return for a touchdown.
To sit back and think that you just won the second national championship and since '07, has it hit you yet what this team's done?
Well, not really. It's not going to, but I don't think about it as my second national championship. It's their first, and that's truly what I believe. It's about the kids. You get in this game to be with kids and watch kids grow and develop, and to lead them to be national champions. And for these guys to come out national champions, that means more to me than if I have 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. These guys have one, and that's what it's all about.
You knew on fourth down that you were going to go for it. You won with, I think, 1 fourth down conversion, maybe none. What's that, the fourth down defense and the way you guys were able to do that today? Well,
again, there was a lot of pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to throw off his back foot a lot, and he was able to lay the ball up, and that allowed our safeties to break on the ball in the air. I thought we did a very good job of the underneath coverage. We just got in their hip pocket and ran and knocked the balls down a good bit. I think we got away with a pass interference early in the ball game over there, but we've had a lot of those go against us. And for the most part, I think it was all based on the pressure.
Is it you, Matt?
Yeah, that was me.
Matt, take us through the kickoff return, if you would. Was it all just a blur, or was it kind of slow motion for you?
I mean, looking back on the tape, we kind of knew that the middle was going to be weak, so we really wanted to attack it. We knew we were going to go middle return all day long. And I'm not going to lie, when I first caught it, my legs went down. Just from the excitement. Yeah. When I started running, you could just see it opening up. Cedric led me through the middle, and then after that, it was just to the house.
Cedric, last year you were playing high school football, and then this year you have over 1,000 yards and over 130 in the national championship. Is it sunk in yet?
No.
What do you think it will?
Probably not. Because this team got leaders everywhere. From Matt Pills onto Caden. I'm like the baby of the group. Like, they tell me every day it's about time we start growing up. So that's why I come out for practice, weight room, position meeting, team meeting, and I try to get them like 100%.
How much can you learn from a guy like Caden who's been through so much, especially this week, and what he was able to do?
Caden, like, teaching me. He showed me the goods, and he really tried to keep me away from the bad, and he won't never take me out wrong.
Caden, you're tearing up out there. Telling your teammates, can you describe it?
I can't. It's an unbelievable feeling because, I've been on past teams where I thought we were working hard and I thought we had team unity, and I'm telling you right now, I've never seen anything more tight-knit than these guys, these coaches. It's unbelievable. We just look forward to being around each other, and it's something magical and something you can see in week 5 and week 6. But for it to kind of come through and show how important it actually is an unbelievable feeling, and I can't describe it. All I know is I love every single one of those guys with all my heart, and I'm never going to forget this.
Coach, the opening kickoff for touchdown was great, but did you caution your team about what happened last year when that happened? And secondly, how important was that second score on basically your first drive that gave you the 2 touchdowns?
Well, that's one thing that we talked about. We wanted to get off to a fast start, but we didn't want to settle on that fast start. We wanted to keep the pedal to the metal and keep playing hard. I think that was a huge drive for us to put together that type of drive, and I think it was 12 or 13 plays, ate up a lot of clock, and I think we of the 12 plays that we ran in that, I think I called the zone play 10 times in that drive. And, we've got to check off of that. And Caden, did an outstanding job the whole game of putting us in the right situations, checking off and throwing some screens when they were loading up the box. And again, it was an outstanding drive to put us up to that 14-0 lead. That it kind of changed the outcome of the game. And I think a little bit it took them out. They hadn't been in that situation before. And I don't know if they knew how to react to that because they had been blowing everybody out week after week, so it kind of put a little bit of pressure on them to be down that fast that early.
What about the fumble right there in the third quarter with the quarterback roll out? Were you able to see what happened?
No, I saw somebody try to rip the ball out. I could not tell who it was, but I saw somebody rip it out. Obviously, that was a big momentum changer in that ball game. I think that took a lot of wind out of their sails. They were getting back into the ball game, and if they put that in, it's a one-score game, one-possession game. And Chris, you may know, I don't know who made that strip, but it was an outstanding play.
You recovered it, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Did you feel, it kind of changed the momentum, go right back, you got
And who made the hit?
Jeremy Gray, he made the hit. We ran a blitz 2 times back to back, and we just had to get some pressure back there. And Grable came through, and he said he had grabbed him first, and he just ripped it out. And I happened to be in the right spot at the right time, and I was able to recover it.
Gio, how big of a momentum swing was that? Did y'all feel it on the field when y'all made a recovery? Did y'all feel the momentum kind of turn in y'all's favor at that point?
Yeah, so we knew that they had a little drive going, and I want to say it was like a 2-possession game at that time. And they had drove on it, they had ran the ball down on us pretty good, and we just knew we had to make a stop. And Greg was able to come up and strip the ball, and we just made a great stop there.
And Coach, you followed that up with a 17-play, 80 yards, 7-minute drive. Talk about that.
Well, again, when we got that ball at the, thank goodness it went in the end zone when we recovered it, so we didn't have to start with our backs to the wall. But I challenged our offensive line at that point. I said, this is where we can change the game. We can put the game away right here. We can cause doubt in their mind if we can drive that thing down there and go up 28-7. And it's amazing the number of times that I step in the huddle. Caden can probably agree with this. The number of times I step in there and I challenge that offensive line, and those 5 seniors, they find a way to get it done. And for us to put together that type of drive, again, great throws that Caden made on that drive, and then the great runs. Probably the biggest play of the game is one that will go unsung, was a 3rd down play where he was stopped 2 yards from the first down. He kept fighting, he kept turning, he ends up getting the first down. That was a big, big play in that game, because if not, we're going to have to settle for a long field goal. But it ended up getting us a first down, continuing to drive and eat more clock up.
Now looking back at the end of last year, we talked about a lot, the minute 42, and now the fact that in the final 4 minutes, you guys didn't have to worry about the game in the national championship. Is that kind of fun to sit back and think about the transition of the year?
Most definitely, man. That minute 42 thing, that was something we preached all summer long. It got to the point where I was sick of hearing about minute 42. But at the same time, we had to preach that. And I know throughout the season there were times where it was close games, and we just found a way to get out each and every game. And that's big, man. All I can do is thank the coaching staff for just preaching that to us, because it really put a mindset in our head that no matter what's going on and how much time is left, no matter what the situation was, we're going to quit.
Coach, you started out, you said 2-2. Was there a sense around, not your team, but in the community or the school, that the sky was falling, and what changed at that point?
Well, when you coach in Titletown, USA, and you're 2-2, there's always a cloud around you. If you got one loss, there's a cloud around you. So, for us as a football family, our team, we didn't feel the pressure. We knew we were a better football team. We played Saginaw Valley on the road and really felt like we should have won that game. We lost Caden in the first half, and Graham Craig, who played an outstanding football game that day. If he falls forward and gets the first down, we run the clock out, but he fell down right there at the thing, and we ended up punting the ball, and they drive down and score with a minute to go. And then we had 2 straight wins against Sport Valley and then Angelo State that were decisive wins, big wins. And then we turned around the next week and played West Alabama, and at that time I think we felt like we were a lot better football team than we really were. We weren't peaking yet, and we weren't doing everything the way that we should be doing.
And we didn't go out and play very well. We had a lot of turnovers in the ball game. We lost Caden again in the first half, and we just did not play the way that we could play. We didn't tackle very well, and that loss, I think, woke us up. At that point, we realized we're a lot better than what we are, and we need to play, each practice, each game, take everything one at a time, and just live in the moment, and not look ahead, not look behind. And I'll give these kids credit. That's exactly what they did. Their focus, their attention, they stayed together. Our senior leadership was tremendous from that point on. And I think that probably, if you could say a loss was the turning point in the season, I think it was. When we walked in the locker room after that game, and I challenged those guys, I said, let's get an opportunity to play those guys again. And they all agreed, and just a heck of a run that these guys made.
Would you say that today's game was like a microcosm of that philosophy? Because even though you guys had some big plays early, there in the third quarter, Winston-Salem looked like they were going to, get back in the game, and you had to do it all over again.
Well, we've faced adversity all year long. We've been behind. I think in every playoff game that we had until today, we were behind. In 2 of those, we were behind in the second half and had to come back and win. And there was several times during the year that we were behind and had to score late to win, or we ended up coming from behind at the half and after the half and winning. So we faced adversity quite a bit, and our kids never panic. They always feel like they're in the game. They know that they're good football players, and there's just never a sense of urgency, or I won't say urgency, but there's never a sense of panic on our sideline. And again, that says a lot for our assistant coaches, our coaching staff, and then again, these kids. They believe in what we're doing, and they believe in what these coaches are coaching them.
Kate, you said earlier, you talked about the unity and the family of this team. Did that really show itself after that 2-2 start? When you got up to a start, you were able to stay together and then ride the winning streak out to the end of the season? Talk to me about how the players kind of responded to that 2-2 start and how y'all were able to win out.
Immediately after we lost to West Alabama and we were sitting 2-2, immediately after the loss, Gerald Ford, wide receiver, called the whole team up in the middle of the field. West Alabama was walking off the field. They're excited. Our fans are walking out disappointed. We're all disappointed, obviously, but he said, he kind of just gave us a gut check. He said, listen, you're either going to come locked in or we're just going to make this thing more disappointing. And it started the next day at weights and carried over. Every single day it got better and got stronger, and we grew as a team and got closer. And I think it was just that moment when he kind of looked all of us in the eye and said, if you're not with me, get out. But if you're with us all, you stay here and we can move this thing forward. And every single one of us kind of manned up at that point and, kind of told ourselves as an individual that we were going to come accustomed to be a part of this team.
And one final question.
And what has this week been like for you? The end was on such a sweet note, but you went through a lot.
It's unreal. I can't tell you the support that I have all the way in Valdosta and the whole state of Atlanta, the whole state of Georgia and Atlanta and Macon and the whole city of Valdosta has been unreal. This team, like I said, so close that we, every single person, the minute they found out, they'd come by, nudge me, give me a hug, say, I love you, man. You need anything, let me know. And I had people I didn't even know get in touch with me saying, if you guys need anything at all, let me know. And that's something I noticed immediately when I came on my visit here, is that everybody was completely nice and had their door open to anybody on the team, and they're here to help out, and they just want to be supportive, and it showed today how crazy our crowd was, and this team is something that I turn to, and they respond and they help me out in an unbelievable way.
Coach Fellas, we appreciate it.
Thank you. And I think